Hey, big shout out. It's 4th of July. Big shout out to the veterans. We're going to wait till a few people come in here. We have some amazing topics to discuss today. This is going to be one hell of a live. We're going to go over it pretty quick, but, you know, there's quite a few topics going on. Rick Ross gets punched in the mouth, right in the mouth. Just off the bat, I'm going to tell, well, hold tight, everybody. Let me share this live just to so everybody knows we're active. Bear with me, folks. You know, we just go through the technicalities, but this is going to be a good one. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to obviously talk a little bit about Rick Ross, him getting punched in his face, a couple other topics that we are going to discuss. And this is going to be an interesting one. Black masculinity and toxic masculinity, Black conservatism. Recently, Tariq Nasheed mopped the floor with the Fresh and Fit dudes, which I thought was just incredible. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And, you know, also a couple of major divorces have happened that I don't think have really gotten a lot of attention, but one of which was the Jeannie Mai and Jeezy divorce, and also the Deontay Wilder divorce, both of which have some interesting things that I think are important and worthy of discussion, especially as it relates to firearms, because you got to ask yourself, is it really dangerous to date an anti-gun liberal? When you look into the history of what's going on with these two, it's almost unbelievable the strategy that she implemented against this man. It's quite crazy. So let's just go into a little bit of what I found. You know, with the Rick Ross situation, I'm not even, you know, everybody that's been in warfare has been hit. You know, you get hit, you lose, you win. You know, things happen in warfare. There's no dishonor in fighting, and just, you know, you might get whooped sometimes. There's no dishonor in that, you know. What really threw me off with this guy Rick Ross is him. There's no excuse for leaving your homeboys, your friends. You know what I mean? You get punched in your mouth, and I don't even know if I need to show the video because it's just not even worth it. But I wanted to make a very, very important point. You never, ever, ever, if you're a man, one of the first rules of manhood is if you come together, you leave together. You know, and I'd seen something that academics had said that he's the bag. That's what he was supposed to do. Man, if that's not, and you know, I want to make sure that my channel keeps growing and they don't block this. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's no amount of money that should allow you to allow your friend to get beaten almost to death. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But I mean, it's one of those things that is kind of a sign of the times. You know, money is everything, but your friend could have lost his life. You know, so that's the thing that really threw me off. And I mean, there's clear footage of it. Punched in the mouth. Well, actually, let me be 100,000% honest. Your buddy squaring up, fighting, doing what he got to do. You know, he's fighting the little skinny dude as he should, and then the big dude eye to eye with Ross, and Ross does a left face and tiptoes away while his friend catches the beating of his life. Unbelievable, man. So it leads me into a different point, which is Black masculinity and even toxic masculinity, some people may say sometimes. The reason I say that is because, you know, you would sometimes think, or you would describe somebody like Rick Ross as an extremely masculine person. But I beg to differ. I think that that of late, the incorrect traits of masculinity have been exemplified, and some of the most important traits of masculinity have been somewhat of ignored, not only in just the manosphere, but also just in modern life and just modern culture with these men. I think a great example of that is the manosphere and some of these fresh and fit guys and some of these podcasters who are giving extremely weak men advice on how to be men or better men. You know, I'm a firm believer in self help books. I like David Goggins. I like a couple of the Navy SEALs guys. I picked up a couple of books that I believe were strongly influential and also just a positive experience that reminds you of how you can take elements that are already in you and magnify those elements. So I believe in getting mentors and obviously reading books and dealing with people to understand how to do things better. But when you get into systems in which you're teaching, you're buying advice on how to pick up chicks and stuff, not masculine. But that's more on the I'd say the white manosphere. I want to deal with something that's a little bit more important right now, and it's actually black masculinity. And I think that this Rick Ross situation does allow for us to kind of discuss that in a more targeted manner, because with black masculinity, we have a lot of men that have been raised by women and display characteristics that are actually feminine, but in a man's body may intimidate some people or may come off or come across as hyper masculine. What you'll find is that a lot of the people that sometimes people find to be tough guys are the ones that are loud, the angry, aggressive person, the one that'll snap off at any minute. And that's why I think that there has to be a little bit of a adjustment, especially in the black manosphere, as far as what is the apex of masculinity. And I think we have to come from a much more intellectual basis, a much more controlled basis, a much more fearless basis, where I think a lot of these black conservatives are fearful of white people, and they're fearful to say the things that they may feel, and I'd hope that they feel this way. And the reason I say I hope that they feel that way is because, man, they've been saying some things on the black manosphere that are just so outrageously disgusting and just buck dancing. You can't, like, conservatism has a couple of cornerstones. What you do is you're supposed to financially free yourself to where you're not dependent. Your kids, your offspring, your children are not dependent on anyone. Now, any business person has interrelationships. And even just me talking about this is what a lot of black conservatives, I think, are fearful of. Even me talking about race does spark different emotions in different people. And I have business dealings. It's just that my well-being is not based on someone liking me. And that's the same reason I'm not a Democrat. A Democrat, I'm not worried about whether or not a system is racist. I'm trying to enable myself to totally disconnect from the need of any systems and any organizations, to where I can be independent and self-sufficient. And I believe that that is an ideal of conservatism. I'm not here to like you. I'm not here for you to like me. I'm just here for you to leave me alone. Let's make sure all of the public functions like school, the hospitals, things function correctly, but just leave me alone, keep my taxes low, and leave my guns alone. And I'm halfway happy with that. But in this whole black manosphere, it's become very apparent that through obviously their disgust for black women, it has become really apparent that they're fearful, and I'm not afraid. And I think that has to be something that permeates throughout the whole conservative element, this whole new black conservative movement. I think it's very, very important to move without fear and make sure that you position yourself to where you are in need of no one to like you. And that doesn't mean not have alliances, but you should not need anyone to like you. With that being said, as a black conservative, is it dangerous? Is it dangerous to date, to marry, to be in a relationship with anti-gun liberals? I was mind blown. I seen this and I was mind blown. Janine Mai and Jeezy, man, this is a good man here, man. This is a good dude, and they have strategically set up a plot to put this guy down, man. And it's crazy because you have to look at. I really looked a little bit into this story to understand, like, is this really how this is working out? You have a woman that was in a relationship with a man, and I'm going to give you guys some background on this. So bear with me. Let me utilize this technology. I want to show you a couple of. I want to show you a couple of videos just so you can kind of understand the setup, because the thing that bothers me the most about this whole story is, one, she really showed her hand, and you have to take accountability, or Jeezy has to take accountability for being with a woman that really showed her hand before he put that rock on her finger. Showed who she was before he married her. Then said, she said all kinds of, she likes her black dark meat on the side, and we all know about all of that nonsense, unbelievable stuff. But he wiped her up. The part that blows my mind is her whole family throughout the whole relationship was taking pictures of his guns, was taking pictures of recording a phone call. Like, it was a whole plot and strategy from day one, way before the divorce, to get this man. Unbelievable stuff. So let me show you exactly what we're dealing with here, man. Unbelievable stuff. And I'll tell you what, let's see what we got here. Bear with me, guys. Here we go. All right.
To an all-out war, insinuating Jeezy cheated. She tried to contest the prenup. Jeezy stated that she was trying to gatekeep the baby. She showed Jeezy walking around the house like a no-limit soldier that left guns around. And lastly, she stated that he was an abusive husband and was very controlling. Now, of course, Jeezy took his shots back at Jeezy.
Okay, let's just stop right there, right? She has weaponized home footage. And what's so sad about this is if somebody would have came in that house that night that she's over here using that stuff against him with, if somebody would have came in that house that night, he would have used that firearm to protect her family. And what you'll find out here in a little bit is that the rest of the family was taking pictures, the gun on the nightstand. Like, what is this? Like, if that is not a pure definition of sleeping with the enemy. And at first I just thought it was just like, man, that's just a foul, nasty woman, But then I seen the Deontay Wilder story, and come to find out she's using the same exact tactic. So I'm like, man, is this something that you really have to think about? Do you have to think about to yourself that now watch this, check this out, ladies and gentlemen, this is outrageous, man. And it's very, very, very concerning, in my opinion. Very concerning. All right, let that one. And let's take a look at what her friends were doing during this whole episode and all of this time. Unbelievable.
Questioning why she would even want to have a second baby via in vitro if things were so bad.
So that's something to say too. That's something I wanted to mention, is that during this time when she's talking about this man is a beater, this man is a cheater, she is going to the fertilization clinic to get another baby, to get pregnant at the same time. Mind-blowing, man. I just wanted to tap in with y'all. I want to show y'all a couple things. Bear with me, because I want you to see what her friend got to doing, man. This is outrageous. If you see this friend, the friend was taking pictures, going into the room and taking pictures
of how he had firearms in the house. You can say A, B, and C, but when you see it with your own eyes, that's a completely different kettle of fish. So as far as I am concerned, what she brought last week was valid based on the receipts that she provided.
Receipts? Receipts. And this is why I say this is a plot. This is an entire plot as far as against this man. It is absolutely outrageous. You show a man safe, you show a man's gun on the side of the bed, and you take a picture of it. Man, you guys, I'm telling you what, I like, it's just mind blowing. Hey, with that being said, hey, in the comments, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Is dating anti-gun liberals a dangerous thing? Also, we have the studio opening up this upcoming week, so it's going to get turned up. The podcast is going to be super official, super live. Make sure you share this live. The content is difficult to get out. YouTube's been blocking a lot of my videos just because of it being, gun-related content, but neither here nor there. Keep on pushing. I want to say thank you for the 30,000 subscribers, man. We're only in the second month of this, and we're cooking with fish grease. So I want to say thank you guys again. Continue to support, and watch for the smoking gun. Wow.